Hello and Merry post-Christmas. Today I'm in the studio. Yes, I do have a sort of studio in my guest bedroom, and I'll present my picks for the best and the worst features on cars, reviews of which appeared in 2022 here on Marek Drives in English YouTube channel. This episode is brought to you by Carvago. Be smart. Choose your car online with Carvago. Let me explain the rules. I take into account the cars, reviews of which I posted on Marek Drives in English YouTube channel in 2022. That's 55 cars, 56 if we consider my Mini Countryman. I posted a 9 months update of it. Now, I'll start with the features, and it's actually going to involve a whole category of cars. I'm talking about EVs. Electromobility was supposed to be great, and it's not quite so. At least not just yet, and not everywhere. The range which car makers promise sounds increasingly attractive, but first of all, it's achievable only under optimal conditions, and secondly, without infrastructure for fast charging during road trips, we are buying heavy and often large cars that cannot drive very far. And even if the car is compact, like the Cupra Born, a review of which I posted literally last week on the channel, in late autumn, with temperatures around zero, the range drops from promised 400 to 250 kilometers. Never mind that charging infrastructure in some regions is patchy, at best. But what about cost of charging at home? Electric cars were supposed to be a low-cost alternative to combustion-powered cars, for people who have somewhere to charge them, that is. This usually means a home, preferably with solar panels on the roof. But what if someone doesn't have solar, or their solar is just not enough for their home consumption and a car? Energy prices are going up, so the once cheaper alternative now turns out to be just as expensive as internal combustion cars. And that's before we get to blackouts which loom over Europe, with EVs and PHEVs being seen as a potential source of problems for the grid. Of course, if you have a house with solar, with energy storage, and a luxurious EV in the garage, you're more than welcome to tell me that I'm wrong. Looking for a car for family, fun, or work? Carvago.com is the place for you. Carvago is a modern platform with vetted cars from all over Europe. You can buy a car from the comfort of your home, and Carvago will deliver it to your doorstep. Carvago.com features more than 700,000 cars from vetted dealers across Europe. You select a car on Carvago. Carvago sends out its experts and presents you with Car Audit, a full report on the actual condition of the car. Car Audit keeps track of 270 technical points, includes photos as well as final evaluation by a Carvago certified technician. Next, you simply select financing and delivery options, you sign a deal with Carvago, and Carvago buys the vetted car for you. You have 14 days after delivery to test drive and return the car without giving a reason. The price also includes up to 12 months warranty depending on the region. So, what's your car from Carvago going to be like? And now let's find some positives. I'm glad that driver assistance systems are getting better and more common. Even the Toyota Aygo Cross has adaptive cruise control with lane keeping assist, and it's pretty good. I don't think these types of solutions make drivers lazy. If anything, they take the stress and fatigue out of long-distance driving. Use your head, and you'll arrive at your destination less tired and safer. And now the cars. I'll start with the worst, and I have two models here, both of which would be perfectly adequate if they weren't electrified. I'm talking about the Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross PHEV and the Toyota Corolla Hatchback Hybrid Dynamic Force. Both of these cars have limited functionality exactly because they had to be redesigned for hybrid drivetrains. The Eclipse Cross was a decent, relatively cheap car with a reasonable trunk. Now it's expensive, it has a small trunk, and in the winter the plug-in hybrid powertrain uses twice as much energy as the manufacturer claims. The Toyota Corolla, on the other hand, was designed for a 1.8-liter engine with a hybrid system, but the 2-liter engine is so big that the 12-volt battery had to be moved to the boot, where it takes up too much space under the floor. In the station wagon, Toyota managed to stuff it on the side, but in the hatchback, it just renders the boot useless. Here, I will divide the cars into categories because it's difficult to compare the Suzuki S-Cross with the full-size Range Rover. Now, I wanted to give an honorable mention for the most simple and reasonably priced car to the Suzuki S-Cross, but I can't, because the last crash test result for this model is from 2013, and it's no longer valid. And since I don't recommend the Dacia Jogger exactly because of its poor crash test score, the Suzuki won't get an honorable mention from me either. That leaves me with the Kia X-Ceed, as long as it's not the GT line, because over there I found the seats unbearable. We're living in a strange world where reasonably priced cars cost over €30,000, but rumor has it that discounts are coming back, at least in the premium brand showrooms. The problem is that even with a very good discount, I wouldn't be able to afford a full-size Range Rover, which, for me, is the perfect SUV, and one of the few cars on my dream list. The unattainable ones, unfortunately. And I know that this car will break down, but on the days when nothing breaks down, I would roll in it like a king. Now, before we get to the car of the year, I'd like to mention two surprises, an unpleasant one and a pleasant one. The unpleasant one is the VW ID Buzz. It looks like a family minivan, but with none of the practicality of something like a Touran or a Charan. I won't mention Volkswagen's infotainment system. I encourage you to check out the Cupra Born review, where I go on a long rant about VW infotainment. The pleasant surprise is the BMW i7. Yes, it's an EV. Yes, it's got the BMW OS 8 infotainment, which I don't like. And yes, it's big and heavy. It's a limousine, but still, it drives like a BMW. What's more, during the launch event, I also tried the V8, which we won't get in Europe, and it felt so unrefined compared to the EV. Properly applied electric propulsion has enormous potential, but infrastructure and energy market turmoil mean that my next car is still likely to be powered by a combustion engine. And now the moment we've all been waiting for, you've been all waiting for, I hope. The best of the cars I reviewed this year, and reviews of which I posted on the channel because I'm actually driving a 911 when I'm recording this. So anyway, the winner is the Citroën C5X. It's a great combination of a station wagon and a coupe body style with a slightly raised ground clearance, almost like an SUV. It's a great car that's comfortable, practical, sophisticated, and, given the reasonable price of the Kia X-Ceed, affordable. It has its flaws, but it escapes definitions. And so, my dear audience, this is my subjective summary of the best and worst features and cars on my channel this year. Thank you for the last 12 months, and I hope you'll stick around for more content starting from January 13, 2023. Yes, on the 6th, I'm taking a day off. In the meantime, catch up with the reviews you may have missed, have fun on New Year's Eve, and all the best in 2023. If you like my sarcastic, down-to-earth, and possibly mildly amusing car reviews, join me every Friday at 3 p.m. Central European Time, and don't forget to subscribe and like this video, as it helps me with the YouTube algorithm. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.